We stayed at this 5-star hotel in Korea for free.
We got to stay at this lovely hotel for free. Nice little staycation for our family on behalf of my company.
Yeah, this place is pretty cool because they have a swimming pool, a sauna, a really nice workout facility that overlooks an area called Central Park. Not New York.
No, this Central Park is modeled after New York Central Park, hence the name. But it's a beautiful, nice new city. Fun fact, it was built on the water. It was not, what do you call it?
It's a man-made, it's like a landfill?
No?
No?
It's not like trash.
No.
Okay,
they fill it with land.
It was just ocean, and then they built a city on top of it. So
yeah, that Central Park is really nice because they have a lot of things to do. There's a little lake they created, kind of lake / mini river, where you can ride little boats that look like dome. And then they also have the bikes, tandem bikes.
They have the tandem bikes, they have the little family bikes, and it's a fun little park.
Not just the park, there's also a lot of places to eat. When people tend to think of Korea, I think you have a picture of Songdo in your head, or like maybe Gangnam, but mostly Songdo, which is a vibe of this futuristic city.
Yeah, with being very spacious and clean, but a lot of Korea actually is fusion of new and old.
This area is more developed, and in terms of newly developed. Yeah, this was such a nice hotel. We had a beautiful view from the room, and we brought our daughter.
As I get older and we have a daughter, it's nice to do staycations. At first, I really didn't understand the idea of a staycation. I was like, you're paying for a hotel, and what's the point? You're like right next door. As I get older, I'm like, yeah, I see the appeal of it. You feel like you're somewhere new, and it's not so much effort, especially with a little one. So staycations are kind of my new favorite little thing to look forward to, especially when it's free.
That's true. And with the free, that's because of her job.
How does it work as a flight attendant? I feel like I actually get a lot of questions. People ask me like, so do you have to pay for your own hotels? No, when you are working and you are on a layover, everything is paid for by the company. So basically anytime you're on the clock, you have layovers in cities, those are paid for. The only time hotels are not paid for is when you commute. And for instance, I commute now from Korea to Dallas, which is a pretty long commute. But when I commute into Dallas, I have to pay for my own hotels because it is my quote-unquote choice to commute at that point. In that instance, the hotels are not paid for. Any other instance, when you are doing a trip for the company will pay for your hotel.
And since it was in town and we live in Korea now, this made it a nice little treat. Luna can see her mom, and I can see my wife, and it's just one train away. Hang out in Songdo.
So technically I'm quote-unquote working, I'm on a layover, but since we live here, I get to go home, I get to see my daughter, my family, and we have the option to chill at the hotel since it's already provided for by the company. Ryan has been able to come with me on various trips to Hawaii. He came with me to Germany. The hotels have all been paid for by the company. So we've gotten to take advantage of that a little bit. So we're very lucky and grateful in that sense.
If you were wanting to look into being a flight attendant, another positive note towards that.
And for those people who have questions about what it's like to be a flight attendant, go ahead and leave them in the comments below, and maybe I can do a Q&A on all the questions that people have had about flight attendants and what their life is like or what they go through, passenger experiences, like if you have anything that you're curious about, I'm happy to answer them.
Awesome. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.